right? Fashionably.
Yeah. Right? It could be worse. It could be so much worse. I'm just waiting to see if we're live.
I just wave. I hope we're live.
Yeah, right. No, we're not live yet. There's some delay, or maybe I just need to reload. Okay, we're live.
Okay. You could always do the Gilderoy Lockhart thing where he's like, "Can you all see me? Can you all hear me?" Or however it is. He does it. I don't know.
You said it, and I was like, "Oh, I can hear it, but I can't hear the words."
Yeah, like you can hear like his tone and like his little head bobble or whatever he does.
Oh my god, head bobble!
You can hear the head bobble.
Okay, so Mercer is here. I was posting on Instagram yesterday, so we'll see if other people pop in. In a bit, I might post on like, oh, hi Kelly.
Here. Hi Kelly.
Hi Kelly. So Mercer and Kelly, nice to see you on another stream of mine. Thank you for coming. As you can see, I have 3 guests today, which is my first time having 3 guests. So if you all will introduce yourselves, that would be great.
Which order?
Go alphabetically, I guess. So that would be Autumn first.
Hey, always first, right?
Autumn's done that way on my phone.
Okay, so hey, I am Autumn Ashley. I am an aspiring writer. I am currently working on my first project. I'm on draft 0 of Project Brina, so I'm super excited about that. I have an idea for a trilogy after, but I'm not getting into that. And so that is a little bit about me. I'm an author tuber. I also do Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, I just updated my website. So if you do not know about it, go subscribe to that and get my newsletter. I won't say how long it took me to get that ready, but it's functional.
Okay, Helene.
Okay, my name is Helene Foy. I am also an aspiring writer. I'm currently writing a YA fantasy series. It was supposed to be a duology, but me being me, it turned into a trilogy. So that's always fun. But I also have a ton of other minor projects that I'm working on because that's just me again. But yeah, so, and I'm an author tuber. That was a hot mess, but I haven't had
It still works though.
I love it.
All right, my turn? Yes, okay, alphabetical. So hello, I am Maddie. I know this says Madeline, but Maddie is also good. I am also an aspiring author, and I am currently working on my second novel. Hold on a second. Hey, honey, can you turn that down? Thank you. My husband just got home. That was my wonderful husband that you all saw. And I am working on a retelling of the Hades Persephone myth from the perspective of our lovely Persephone, and am halfway through draft 2 on that. And I also have an author tube. I also have an Instagram. I don't really use the Twitter. You can look me up there, but you probably won't find much. And yeah, and that's all I got. I'm so bad at self-introductions. I'm having flashbacks to my Japanese class again. I'm just gonna.
So for the record, all of their channels are linked down below. I'm Zara Hoffman. I'm a self-published author. I have published a trilogy of paranormal romance books. This is the first one. I might show the other 2 in a moment. And so thank you for coming back to my channel. If you've been here before, I am also clearly an author tuber. I did vlogs in July, and I am planning 2 series for my YouTube channel, but those are scripted. So I am taking my time with them because I don't want to just rush them out. And people love myth retellings, which is good because all four of us on the screen are also obsessed with Broadway. And even though these ladies haven't heard of it yet, I recently introduced them to the musical Hadestown, which is the Orpheus and Eurydice myth tied in with the Hades and Persephone myth. So once you all have listened to it, you have to get back to me. But in the meantime, we can talk about other Broadway stuff throughout the stream. Because I have 3 guests today, the times and the trees have already been picked. So we will be doing a 15-minute sprint, a 20-minute sprint, and a 25-minute sprint. The trees have been picked by my guests. So for the first sprint for 15 minutes, we will be doing the forest spirit tree, which let me show you. And this was picked by Autumn. So we will be doing this for our first sprint. If you have the forest app and don't know how to plant together, you will see next to the fire icon, there are people. And if it's singular, instead of 2 like it is on my screen, you just tap it and you turn on plant together mode. And then I will create a room and you tap join room instead. People are saying they need to watch Hadestown. I believe there is at least 1 bootleg on YouTube. I grew up around musical theater, so I generally don't talk about bootlegs or try to promote it or anything because it's not great. I don't believe the quality is good on it either. But because Broadway is shut down at least until 2021, that might be all you get for now. So I can't really begrudge you at this point because everyone's like, Hamilton, everything needs a pro shot, which I agree. Everything kind of does need a pro shot, but that's expensive for Broadway to do. So I don't think it's going to happen. There is a library in New York that technically has a recording of every single Broadway show. And it got tied into I go to NYU, and 2 years ago, they paired up with NYU and they transferred the whole library, but I haven't seen any of it. So I can't tell you about whether or not if Broadway could just be like, oh, release those. Okay, I'm going to create the room. I don't think any of you ladies have the Forest app, which is fine. I'm going to post the code so people who want to join can.
Spirit trees.
Yeah.
I do have it, but I have no idea how to use it. I just use it at the time.
Oh, well, turn on the plant together mode and then click on join room.
Oh, it's a pro version. I don't think I can. I don't have the pro. I just have the free version.
Oh.
That's okay. I'll grow my little cactus and pretend it's a spirit tree.
No. If you join the room, you can.
Oh, if you join it, you can.
Yeah, that's the whole point. I've been unlocking trees like crazy just because I've been on so many sprints.
I know. I was looking at like the list of trees that you sent us, and I was like, "How did you get so many cool trees? What the heck?"
I've been saving up since April.
And a coral reef.
Yeah. Let me get the banner ready.
Hey, Shelby.
I'm not sure.
Shelby's here.
Ooh.
Also, I want to apologize for my cat in the background. She's really wanting attention really bad right now.
Oh, don't apologize. I love pets. I might bring my dog on at some point. My dog loves attention, but she's very much like a cat where it's like, I want attention when I want it. Get away from me if I don't come to you first.
Yep.
Yep.
So
I'm going to keep my bird in the corner over there.
we still might hear him, right?
Huh?
We still might hear him.
You still might hear him. So if there is an eardrum piercingly high screech, I do apologize.
Oh, Jimmy.
I get it. If you live in Australia, you can't see a lot of Broadway.
But Mercer, you get Hugh Jackman, and he's just like a one-man Broadway, so.
I saw him on Broadway.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He did a show called Hugh Jackman Back on Broadway, and he did like a review of his whole Broadway career and like some songs that he was like, oh, I've always wanted to sing this, but I was never cast on Broadway, so here we go. And I was just like, yeah.
Oh, that would have been so awesome.
Mercer loves cats and dogs. I like cats. I don't like some of the cats that I've met in person, which is the problem. So like for a really long time, I was like, oh, I don't like cats. And now I'm like, no, I like cats. Just some of them were jerks.
It's the nature of cats.
Oh, yeah. I have 2 cats, and they're polar opposites. One's really fat, the one who was wanting attention. She is super fat and lazy. She does nothing all day except sleep and eat. And she is the sweetest cat you will ever meet. And then we have our other cat who is adorable. And she's this tiny little thing. She's full grown, but she's so tiny. She has the biggest eyes. And she will eat you alive if you look at her the wrong way.
Tiny but mighty.
I love it.
Okay. Let's get the sprint started. Or Madeline, are you in?
I couldn't find it, so I'm just gonna.
Are you sure?
I'll figure it out for next time. How about that?
Wait, just show your screen next to the fire thing.
Up top, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why is there a little green check mark thingy?
I don't know. I don't know how technology works. So
I didn't know there was a free version. I thought it was just you bought the app for like.
I think that it's a free version, and then there's like a pro version. But I might have to get the pro version at some point. Just
it's a one purchase thing, and then it's totally worth it. I promise.
All right. I'll check my slowly dwindling bank account and see if $2.
Spirit trees with me.
Okay, so we're going to start the sprint. Let me get a timer up. I just realized
I'm being whited out by the sun.
Google timer. It's weird. I can't make it full screen because then it like cuts off the timer. We're gonna do 15 minutes. Let me share the tab. Nope. I always click the wrong one when I'm like share screen. Okay. 15 minutes and start. I'm going to mute everyone and set up the ticker. Oh, you muted yourselves. Wonderful. That's the end of the first sprint. How did people do?
Oh, I did some research, so I didn't really have a word count or anything.
Okay. Productivity is productivity.
Same. I did some research. I added some ideas. And that's all I can offer the world.
I don't know how many words I added. I was not doing research. I'm Persephone and Demeter arguing with each other.
Mother-daughter fight.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, Demeter is not too happy about the whole arrangement.
Well,
so Persephone is trying to get her on her side, and Demeter's like,
are you keeping the whole, like, you're keeping the fact that Hades is Persephone's uncle, I'm assuming?
No, I'm not keeping that.
I was like,
no, I'm not mentioning. I mean, if people know the actual like genealogy of the Greek gods, I will let them figure that out.
Okay.
But I did actually. I changed who her father was. So in this, her father is not Zeus.
Okay.
Yeah. So she and Zeus don't like each other in this actually, but so I changed that, but I also am not mentioning that anyone besides the big three are related. If you know the stories, then you know. But I am not saying like that anyone besides those three are related.
But is Zeus still the one who's like, oh, here's the deal, and Demeter's pissed?
Zeus is still the reason, like, well, not the reason why Hades took Persephone, but he's
the reason why Hades gets her.
Won't go get her, you know? He's like, well, you see, it keeps him occupied and he can do that. And Demeter's like, no.
It's my daughter.
Yeah, but then her anger shifts because after Persephone gets back, her anger kind of shifts more towards Hades. So, because she and Hades don't like each other, or she doesn't like Hades.
She's not going to be mad too much at her daughter because it's her daughter. It's not like her daughter ran away.
Demeter, I think, is just sort of angry at the whole situation right now. So she's kind of taking it out on Persephone because Persephone is defending Hades.
Okay, yeah.
So I think
that was going to be my guess. I was like,
yeah. So she's defending him and being like, okay, yeah, I realize he did this, but let me tell you what I learned while I was there. And Demeter's like, no, you're stupid.
Well, it's like in your birthday stream on Friday where you're like, I mean, like, aside from the kidnapping thing,
besides the kidnapping,
still is God. Which was.
He did a kidnapping once, you know. But besides that, he's really not that bad.
I'm going to go through the comments really quickly. Mercer agreed with us that Hugh Jackman is great. That happened while we were still talking about Hugh Jackman. Mercer bought the Forest app so she could sprint with me. So Mercer can tell you it's a good investment.
I just have the free version. I'm sorry.
I was telling Mercer that I got someone else to buy it, and that given that I should maybe ask them to sponsor me.
Yes.
Okay. Kelly had to leave. Thank you for telling people to hit the like button. Thank you for coming, Kelly. I'm sure you're already gone, but thank you for being here. Haley came in late after having breakfast. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Haley.
I said in the beginning that we will be doing a 15-minute, which just happened. We will be doing a 20-minute and a 25-minute. The trees have already been picked by my lovely guests because we would never decide on anything if we did it live. So the next sprint is going to be 20 minutes, and it's going to be with the space tree picked by Madeline.
Woo! Yeah.
And then, so we're just going to be chatting for a bit before we do the next sprint. A nookish exception got here right as the timer went off. Thank you for being here. And I hope you get in words for the next sprint or productivity. I got a few words in, but I was writing a script, so I'm like not really counting them. Mercer got 312.
Nice.
Awesome. Let's see. The MC's about to get married.
Cute. Or at least I hope it's cute. I hope it's
Yeah, I hope it's a happy ending and not a forced arranged marriage.
yeah.
I'm trying to think in my books. I definitely wrote one wedding. I've written one proposal twice because it was in two different books, like from different perspectives. Yeah, I think I've only written one wedding so far.
I mean, does being carried to the underworld in a chariot count as writing a wedding? Because I don't think you ever actually had a ceremony to cement that.
It's like they skipped right to the honeymoon without original consent, and then it came later. Problematic stuff, but I still want to read your book.
It's okay. I really hope I toned all that down, because like the original myths are just like, whoa.
Well, I mean, people who like are excited about reading a Hades and Persephone retelling know the original myth.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they're like, oh, I didn't know, and then they pick it up and they're like, oh, I am not okay with any of this. It's like mostly
I know.
people who have read the myth are like, oh, I want to see how it's redone, and then like your book description will be good enough for that other people will want to read it. I help people write book descriptions if you want to hit me up when the time comes.
I will call you when I reach that point in time.
Oh, okay. Mercer gave us more details. It is an arranged marriage, but they like each other.
Oh, good.
So that's nice.
That's always a nice arranged marriage.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep with my, oh, yay, response from earlier. Plus they kind of knew each other from beforehand. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Haley's working on adding more description to the beginning of her book.
Nice.
I have to do that a lot with mine. I'm an underwriter.
Yeah.
So I'm always having to go back and like, okay, maybe I should actually describe what this place looks like. Maybe.
I'm an underwriter so much. And also description is just one of my weak points to begin with. So I'm like, my sci-fi book that I wrote in the past 2 camps this year, I think was the first time where like I actually put in maybe a decent amount of description while writing the draft. Like I still have to go back, I know, and add more. But I was like, okay, I can skimp on description because it's like most of the story takes place like in space on a spaceship. So I was like, okay, I can't get away with like not describing things. Whereas my trilogy, my published trilogy is paranormal romance and it's like all on Earth. So I was like just describing the magic and I was like, I don't need to describe other things that people can just imagine. It's like, well, you still kind of have to.
Yeah. Well, see, me, I'm like, why did I have to like fantasy so much? Why couldn't I be someone who just writes contemporary all the time? Because as a fantasy and sci-fi, like you were saying, like you have to describe so much because the readers, they aren't able to experience this in normal life. So you need to just, and don't get me started on writing about magic because that's a whole other,
I have a soft magic system. I was like, there's no way I'm writing a hard magic system right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a fantasy series planned way down the line that will be high fantasy, hard magic system, and a series. And I'm just like shooting myself in the foot with all of those.
That sounds awesome, though. I have one. I don't know if it's going to be hard magic, but it's going to be an epic fantasy. And I'm loving it because I love the characters, but also dreading it because they're going to travel and I'm going to have to describe all those places.
Fantasies, they got to go on an unexpected journey of some kind.
Of course.
Yeah. Haley is adding foreshadowing. Yeah.
Always
falls underground into a city of elves. Ooh, that sounds exciting.
That's
Probably dangerous though, because elves, I feel like don't normally like humans in all the ones that I know.
Mm-hmm. Underground. Fascinating. I've never heard of an underground elf before. But also when I think underground, I think of the Mines of Moria from Lord of the Rings and that whole scene where he's like, "This is my home," and they call it a mine, a mine. And then
when I hear underground, I think of Alice in Wonderland because the original title was Alice in the Underground.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh,
I didn't either.
know that either.
I had a poetry class, and I'm not a fan of poetry really in high school, but we had to write a paper, and I was like, Lewis Carroll, Alice in Wonderland. He wrote poems about Alice in Wonderland before and after he wrote the Alice in Wonderland stories. I can do this. So yeah, I always twist paper assignments into something I'm already interested in.
That's how I survived high school English. We had to read The Scarlet Letter, which I was not a fan. I was not a fan about like 99% of the books that they made us read. But I remember getting the assignment for The Scarlet Letter, and I was like, you know what? There's enough similarities in this to Les Mis. I just write a comparison paper.
Les Mis.
So I wrote a comparison paper for like the themes and the characters of Scarlet Letter and compared them to the themes and the characters in Les Mis, and I got an A on the paper, which had never happened before. So
I was watching so on August 4th they finally released the like North American download version of Ms. Rocks, which was a filmed concert version from 2019. And I'm watching it, and Thénardier, Madame Thénardier, and Jean Valjean are actually the same cast from the 25th anniversary, which was in 2010.
Oh, who was Valjean? I don't remember who.
Alfie
Beau, yeah, he was Valjean. Who were the Thénardiers? Was Matt Lucas one of them?
Matt Lucas, and I can't remember the woman, but I don't know her name. But so they're in it, and Michael Ball is Javert, which is funny because he had been married since the 10th anniversary.
Yes, I grew up watching the 10th anniversary concert. That was like, oh, I hate Marius, but I love everybody who plays him.
I've never seen the 10th anniversary. I need to, but I just haven't.
It's a role
I've seen it on stage, and then I saw the 25th. But my mom and I were watching it's called Ms. Rocks, the stage concert, because like every concert version, like they keep naming them extra things. Because the first one was like the Dream Casting concert for the 10th.
It was the Dream Cast though. Like literally everybody in that was just so phenomenal. No one has been able to compare since. I'm like, yeah, you're good, but you're not, you're not Leah Salonga. It's like, yeah, you're good, but you're not Colm Wilkinson. You know?
Well, Colm Wilkinson is the original.
You can do better than that.
But anyway, we're watching Ms. Rocks, and my mom and I are both like, it's good because obviously the whole cast is good. But if you've never seen Les Mis before, they cut out so many things that you're like, you don't know what's happening. Like the runaway cart, you're like, what the hell happened? Because all of a sudden Javert is singing like, how can a man your age be that strong? And if you've never seen the show before, you're like, what?
They cut out the runaway cart.
The time has passed. Like they show you like the Cosettes switching. So that like the young Cosette to the older Cosette, but you don't see, like they don't tell you that time has changed. So you're like, oh, I guess that's Eponine. Like they don't show you little Eponine at all in the stage in the stage concert, Ms. Rocks. So all of a sudden there's adult Eponine, and you're like, who is this?
That's
it's like, oh, the Thénardier's daughter, and you're like,
the Thénardiers have a kid.
Was she born after? It's like you miss so many things. And I was like, this is not.
That's
a good production.
Cut out any of the songs, or was
no? They haven't cut out any of the songs, but they cut out a lot of like the context. So it's like if this is your first time seeing it, you're like, what's the plot? Kind of.
That's weird that they cut out the cart scene because that's kind of the first like seed of doubt that's placed in Javert's mind about. Valjean's new identity, which if you're hunting a guy for like however many years, how do you not recognize him? That's my question. But yeah, that's so weird. Yeah, and then it's like a man your age to be as strong as you are. If you have no proof, it's like he's strong.
Yeah, exactly. My mom and I stopped watching After Stars just because we were both like not as interested in it. We'll probably finish watching it tomorrow. But
I would love to see Michael Ball. You said he was Javert, right?
Yeah.
I'd love to see him as Javert. He's got such an amazing voice.
My mom and I were talking about the variation in different parts, how like there's almost never any variation in Thénardier. There's like slight variation in Madame Thénardier. Mm-hmm. There's variation in Jean Valjean, like the way it's acted and the way it's sung, like where they put emphasis. And really the only difference in Javert is how much they enunciate and whether or not they try and pronounce the French words in French, like in a French accent. And some people just don't. And Michael Ball is one of the people who doesn't.
Oh, no. That's funny. No, yeah. You should definitely watch the 10th anniversary concert. That aired on PBS back in 1995 when I was a wee little lass. I was 2 months old when that aired on PBS, and my mom, I was going through like old like video recordings from like when me and my older sister were little, and my mom has this video of me when I was about 1.5, 2 years old, and my older sister marching around the house to "Do You Hear the People Sing?"
Oh, that's so cute.
Like, horribly singing along, and yeah, I've been singing Les Mis longer than I've been able to walk, apparently.
I was born in 1997, and I actually didn't discover Les Mis until I was maybe like 8, which is weird because it's my mom's favorite musical, but I just think she didn't play it because it was like, I don't know. I don't think she thought I'd be interested. So I actually I saw it live before I saw the 25th, and then I just haven't gone back to watch the 10th yet.
Yeah, we grew up watching the 10th, and then we've seen it live a couple times at the Kennedy Center in DC. And I just, if you ever want to play that's just gonna make you sob your eyes out, go see Les Mis live because it's great. It was also the musical my high school did for my senior year.
Oh,
we got to do Les Mis, which was so much fun.
Were you in it?
Who was gonna die at the end? Yeah, I was in it. I didn't have like a major role or anything, but it was still just a lot of fun. And what else was there? And I thought it was funny because when I was little, my mom knew that there were some inappropriate moments in Les Mis, like lovely ladies. She loved skipping over that and pretending like that didn't happen. We knew all the words, of course, but she liked pretending that we didn't know all the words. So when we did Les Mis in high school, I came home and I was like, "Hey, Mom, guess who's going to be in the lovely ladies scene?"
No, I mean, so the thing was, I had seen the first Broadway revival in 2006, 2004. I don't remember. It's 2006 or 2004. And I was in my middle school, which is like my dark days of existence. I hated it there. Everyone knew that like I loved Broadway. And like one of the guys was like, "Oh, like I saw Les Mis," and he started singing that song. And I was like, I know that you're old enough to know what the context is, so please stop singing this song at me.
Yeah, it was very awkward at first, especially since the guy who I was like paired with was someone who had a crush on me in the past.
Oh,
I was like, this is so awkward, but I only had to like interact with him for like a minute, and then I was like far the heck away from him, and it was so.
Oh, that's awkward.
It was so weird at first, but it was a lot of fun. Actually, the costume I had for that one was my favorite one in the entire show. I had like 3 costume changes, and that one was my favorite.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'm going to run through the comments quickly because we got to get to the next sprint. We might run a little bit over than 2 hours if we want to get the 25-minute sprint in too. So I'm going to run through the comments. Mercer likes writing description. A nookish exception is going back and forth between world building and writing cute scenes. And Haley said the same thing. Cute cute scenes are amazing. Everyone agrees with that. But wait, Anoka Obsession loves Alice in Wonderland. Mercer is eating Nutella from the jar, which I always love to do, but I haven't done in a while because I just don't. I always had like Nutella when I was at school, and then since I moved back home because of the pandemic, I haven't. Let's see. Mercer only read one of the books she was assigned, and it was Animal Farm. I didn't read that. I was in the one English class in my high school that wasn't assigned to read The Scarlet Letter. Instead, we read Moby Dick because my English teacher loved Moby Dick, and I was like, I would have preferred Scarlet Letter.
I would have preferred Moby Dick. I want to go back in time and change classes.
It was really funny, though, because my high school teacher was being taught by a classmate of my cousin who had been to, I went to the same high school as my cousin, but they're, older. They were 6 and 8 years older than me, and it was just weird that, she was like, wait, he's a teacher? And I'm like, yep.
Wow.
I think it's funny everyone complains about school reading. I didn't complain about school reading because I like the books. I would complain about the teachers teaching the books or my classmates who are goofing off in class. And I'd read The Giver before it was assigned for my 4th grade English class because my cousins had recommended it. And then I was just so pissed at the teacher. I was like, how do you ruin The Giver? I was like, if I hadn't read the book before, I would have been like, oh, this book sucks.
Yeah.
Haley loves Les Mis. Welcome to the club.
Yes, it is wonderful. Wonderfully sad, but wonderful.
Yeah. And is saying, oh no, yeah, the director prioritized some things over the plot. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I would say, in Les Mis, if you're going to prioritize anything, it should be the music, but not at the expense of the plot in where the lyrics of the music don't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm wondering though, if they cut out the cart scene, does that mean they just cut out the entire final scene at the barricade? We just that.
I don't know. I haven't gotten there.
Segment just gets cut out.
They did a weird projection where you see wheels over the orchestra that's on stage.
Mm-hmm.
So you're okay, you hear someone shout runaway cart and you see the wheels, but you don't get that it's crushed a man and that Valjean, who's undercover, is lifting it. And you don't get that he's undercover. You kind of get he's undercover if you know if you understand the lyrics, Jean Valjean is nothing now. But you don't get that time has passed. He's changed his name. You understand that he's the mayor, and you're like, what? And that's it, basically. There's a lot of question marks if you don't know the other stuff. Do I sense a Les Mis live stream in the future? I mean, we might just do a chat all about.
We'll teach Autumn and Helene all the words to it, so we'll just reenact the whole 3-hour play.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
I can go right along with y'all.
Okay, so Autumn, we just have to train you.
Yeah.
I'm just listening because I'm I've never read. He is on my bookshelf collecting dust, but I have
it in French. I read it in French too.
And see, I have nothing for Les Mis. So that's why I'm not saying anything because I'm okay. Everything you say, I believe.
Well, if you have the time, it's not the best version of it, but if you have the time, the movie's on Netflix, apparently.
I don't think it's on there yet. I think it's coming in a few.
Is it not on there yet? I saw an ad for it yesterday. That's why I was.
Saw an ad. I saw an article and it said it was coming. Mm-hmm. I think it's coming in September or the end of August. I might be wrong. You could check it out and see if it's there. I would say that if you want the experience, apparently the best cast is the 10th anniversary. So I haven't seen it, and I think it's on iTunes. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. So there's that. But I don't believe they act. Do they do scenes from it? And by scenes, I mean choreography.
It's kind of weird how it's set up because it is set up very much like a concert. So it has like the microphones, and so like they're in costume and they're like acting as they sing, but it's not set up like a play. There's kind of like a separate stage that they have like the other scenes. So like the runaway cart scene is actually in that because, you know,
okay, so that's better than
the separate stage.
So that's better than Ms. Rocks, but I would say the 25th concert is it's a concert, but they actually act out certain things. Mm-hmm. So that's the closest you can get to like a pro shot of the musical that exists right now, because the movie, while they sing all the songs, and I love Eddie Redmayne and I love Amanda Seyfried. I don't know. I never know how to pronounce her last name. And I love Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is cast as Jean Valjean, and it's not in his voice range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's a little bit like, I'm in pain because I know you can sing so well, but this isn't for you.
So Autumn, I will give you a little bit of an incentive and a warning before you watch Les Mis on Netflix, the movie. Anne Hathaway, fantastic job. Samantha Barks, who plays Eponine, wonderful, amazing.
She's in the 25th concert too.
Yeah, she's so good. Warning is Russell Crowe.
Oh my God.
And sometimes Hugh Jackman, but he's still wonderful. But it is a little bit uncomfortable for him, and you can tell that he's straining sometimes.
But they bring him home, which is like an important song.
Yeah, the major warning of that movie is Russell Crowe. Just plug your ears whenever he's on the screen.
Noted.
Which is sad because he has one of the most beautiful songs.
Mm-hmm. He does, and he can sing. He just can't do Broadway.
I know.
He does like rock and roll or blues or something like that. Like
I know.
He's not like, if it was a speaking role, he would have been perfect for Javert. Mm-hmm. You know, it kind of falls under the same category as Phantom of the Opera. If those had all been speaking roles and like Gerard Butler was playing a speaking Phantom instead of a singing Phantom, it would have worked perfectly.
He did not have enough singing training for that.
He didn't at all.
But even then, they were like, "Oh, we'll give him singing training for like 2-3 months beforehand." I'm like, no. They also, I think they lowered some of the songs so he could do.
I thought they did.
Yeah, I think they did.
And it's like his voice sounded more rock, which was ironically in tune with like the original music video they had made for the song Phantom of the Opera. Mm-hmm. But like other than that, I'm like, I mean, at least Patrick Wilson and Emmy Rossum can do musical theater, but then you have to remember that she was 16 for most of the filming, and she turned 18 at the premiere, and both of the men that she was in the love triangle with were in their 30s, and you just get weirded out really, really quickly.
All right, well, I'm gonna go call somebody. Yeah, but that's the most annoying thing about the Phantom of the Opera movie. I don't know if you guys have. I'm guessing you guys have seen it, or at least part of it.
I've seen the whole thing. Yeah,
but I think the movie, like aesthetically, is so beautiful. A gorgeous film. And then Gerard Butler opens his mouth, and you're like, ah. No.
But I will say that I had seen that before I'd actually seen a stage production of Phantom. Like I'd heard the original Broadway, and then I'd seen the movie, and then I got to see the show on Broadway. And then I saw it in London. And let me just tell you, seeing the movie Chandelier Crash before you see it on stage sets the bar really, really high. And then you see it in live, and it drops so freaking slowly. And I'm like, apparently the fastest chandelier drop is Australia. And then the second fastest was in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is gone. And I don't know if Australia is still playing, obviously not currently in pandemic, but like, I don't know if they closed that production. Yeah. And London was faster than, London is slower than New York, which I was like, oh no.
Because that's kind of the big moment is when like the chandelier falls. And so you expect it to be like this grand, like explosion almost, and it's just, that sounds so yeah, like a UFO landing is
how frightening.
Yeah, I guess falling, and I'm like, it speeds up when it hits the stage, But I'm like, the whole point is that it's supposed to fall because the novel, which also written in French, which I read in French, was the story was inspired by a news article that said that the author had read where a chandelier fell at the Opera Populaire and crushed a patron. It killed one person.
Whoa.
When it fell. And I was like, that's what inspired the whole story. So for the chandelier to fall really slowly, like visibly slowly, like, okay, like I get that you can't have it fall really fast for safety reasons, but have it look visibly fast.
How did a chandelier falling and crushing a person lead to a man claiming to be the ghost of someone's father giving her voice lessons who lives in the sewers underneath the opera house who's also secretly in love with her, and then there's a whole love triangle? Where did that come from? Like, how did that?
I think that's a perfect example of how
an author.
writers can take inspiration from literally the smallest thing and then it just sparks this crazy story.
Yeah. Okay, 10. So let's do the 20-minute. We might have to change the 25-minute to another 20-minute or even a 15.
I do have to leave pretty close to the 2-hour mark, but
yeah.
Zora is never gonna invite us back.
Oh, no, are you kidding? I'll invite you back, but I think at that point I will be smarter and set a timer for our chats in between the sprints. Okay, so we're gonna do a 20-minute. I'm gonna type in the code so people can join.
I'm also gonna go grab some coffee, FYI. So if you see me disappear, I'm getting coffee.
Samesies, because no mas.
Okay, code is up for anyone who wants to join. I already set up the timer. So let me just share that again.
The movie is on Netflix, Haley, or at least it used to be. Cinematically, it's gorgeous. I highly recommend it just for the artistry of it. Brace yourself for the singing of it.
I mean, Emmy Rossum can kind of do no wrong.
She was decent, but the people who she was singing with.
Oh yeah,
it's.
I'm looking on Netflix. I think Phantom of the Opera was removed.
Oh, was it? Oh, that's actually just
unfortunate because
it is a beautiful movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
I appreciate the production design and the effort that went into it, not so much the final results. That is Gerard Butler.
Okay, so we are going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. end of the sprint.
Yay.
Yay!
Oh.
Oh, how did it go?
Good.
Got my coffee, so that was a big bonus right there.
Good. I did some more research. I had to add some stuff to my calendar, and I updated a little bit of stuff on my Instagram and Twitter. So, zero writing, zero whatsoever, none
Productive.
towards my story. Right. I guess I should say there was typing,
Yeah.
but it wasn't necessarily words towards my story.
Yeah, I haven't done any words towards my story. Okay, aside from like 2 days ago where I just randomly was like, okay, I've had these 3 scenes in my head for forever. I need to write them down. Besides that, like I haven't really written in any of my stories since like the middle of July.
Same. When I finished camp in July, which was my last live stream in July, which was July 31st with Bree, I haven't written towards that story because I wanted it to sit because I did over 30,000 words. So I wanted it to take a breather before I went back into it. But I have a goal of 10,000 words to reach towards that novel for August. But it's only day 9 of August. So I wanted it to sit for a moment before I dove back in.
That makes sense. Bree joined.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Bree.
So he's excited for the next sprint. There was a comment that I totally forgot about earlier. Haley's character makes the mistake of falling in love with the captain of the Royal Guard, which I don't. Shoot, I want to compare it to a book, but if you guys haven't read the book, then it kind of Sarah J. Maas. She has 2 theories, so I'm not going to specify.
Yep, I know what you're talking about.
But yeah. So it reminded me of that in a good way. I want to be clear. I have some thoughts about Sarah J. Maas, but that's not one of my issues with her.
That's for another day.
That's the code for the next sprint. We will be doing 15 minutes because I would say all 4 of us, but mostly me and Madeline went on a Les Mis tangent. And Autumn hasn't seen it, so she wasn't participating, but I hope you're like soaking it in. And Madeline knows it, but I don't think Helene knows it, but Madeline and I didn't really give her a chance to talk about it.
Oh no, I enjoy listening to commentary about it and everything because with the 10th anniversary performance and all that, I've only seen clips of it, so I was enjoying listening to you guys talk about it and all that. So
yeah,
I love it too much. I'm sorry. I know all the words to every song. I love every character.
It's my mom's favorite musical, hands down. It's one of my favorites. I have a ranking, and every time I write it down, it's like I have to really think about it. So I will be making a video about that in the future. But I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to make the ranking video as like one of the as the first video in my series on my YouTube channel about where I talk about Broadway musicals, to be like, here's an overview, or should I like talk about them individually and then do the ranking? Mm-hmm. So I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I just like ranking stuff. Like I had a whole video for May the 4th where I went through all 9 movies of the Skywalker saga and ranked them according to how good they were, at least, in my opinion. So,
well, that's the point of a ranking video.
Yeah, but I think for Broadway, it's a little bit less polarizing than Star Wars.
Oh, it's less polarizing, but there are some things. Oh, I have some controversial opinions. I will be getting into them.
I do too. Like I put The Last Jedi, which is like a universally hated Star Wars movie, as my number 2. I love that movie. I love it.
Okay. I wouldn't put it as my number 2, but I like it better than the prequel films.
Yeah, but I feel like Broadway is a little bit less like cutthroat than Star Wars fans. Because
Here's the thing. Before coming to AuthorTube, the people. Okay, I should clarify. I grew up around Broadway because my mom's a producer, and so I know a lot of other producers and someone who's written a lot of scripts for things, including movies, and actors who were in the show that my mom produced. The poster's up there. I'll want my first video, unless the first video is a ranking one. I'll be talking about that first. And actors were in that who've then gone on to do other things. So the people who I know are in Broadway are all great. The people who I know as fans before coming on to AuthorTube were a bit cutthroat about like, oh, if you don't like this, you're not a real musical theater fan. And I'm like, excuse you, I know more about how it happens. That's like certain things. So it's like,
yeah, that's how Star Wars fans are. Like I've been told to my face that because I like The Last Jedi so much that I'm not a true Star Wars fan. And I'm like, how does that make me not a Star Wars? I can't enjoy it just for what it is.
Yeah, like my mom doesn't really like the prequels. Fine, whatever. But she doesn't really like the newer trilogy because Yoda's not in it. And I was like, okay.
Because Yoda's not in it? That's
Yeah,
why she doesn't like him? That's so odd. That's a great reason to not like him, though. That's like...
Well, she's like, because Yoda's not in it. I'm like, just Yoda? She's like, well, no, they moved away from the spirituality of the Jedi, and which is like embodied by Yoda. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. You could also argue that's kind of the point. Like, I see why people have issues with them, but it's like, Star Wars fans can get scary.
Oh my God. The Reylo controversy. The Super Carlin brothers made a good video about the Reylo controversy, which, if you haven't watched,
I mean, that's a whole nother can of worms.
No, it is, but it's a good video. I'm just saying you should watch the video where they they don't really take a side. They just kind of summarize the thing because they were like, oh, we didn't know it was a thing, but now that we do, we feel like we should address it because we make all these videos about Star Wars.
Yeah, I mean, see, my thing is that I liked it because I kind of saw it as like kind of a Beauty and the Beast sort of story, but I also see the other side of it where it's like, yeah, I get the arguments against it and I see what you're saying. I personally enjoy it. I think it was I thought it was a nice little flip or whatever you want to call it at the end. Yeah. But I do see the other side. I'm not gonna like get in someone's face like they were meant to be together.
No, I mean, most of my opinions about stuff, Super Carlin brothers have a podcast called Popcorn Culture, and they joke and they're like, it's strong opinions about things that don't matter. I have strong opinions about things that don't matter. I always have strong opinions. Let's just be clear. I always have strong opinions, but I'm never forcing them down someone's throat unless it's about human rights. And then I'm like,
real issues that are happening in the world outside. It's not work.
It's like when it comes to like certain politicians who don't think I should exist because I'm not male, not white, not straight, like other things. I'm like, I have an issue. Like, okay, Mercer figured out the book of Sarah J. Maas that I was talking about. So if you want to read the comments, you can, but I don't want to like put that up in case people don't. Okay, need to hear my SJM thoughts. I might make a video about it in the future. I've talked about it on live streams. And by talked about on live streams, I mean I've normally commented on it in someone else's live stream. Mostly Keelan's here. She has controversial opinions about Star Wars. So I love it. Madeline might do a stream about Star Wars, whereas me and Madeline will do a stream of, and Haley wants to get in on our stream about Les Mis in the future, whenever that is. SJM, I will say, you mentioned Beauty and the Beast, which is one of the things that inspired her ACOTAR series. Mm-hmm. And I can't read her ACOTAR series for personal reasons, but she has a propensity to do certain relationship dynamics that are problematic in certain ways to me. And it's not that like the story isn't enjoyable around it, or that I'm not saying that I haven't enjoyed things that have problematic relationships either. Like when Twilight came out, I read them and like the story interested me and therefore it brought me joy, even though the writing quality wasn't great. But like as I've gotten older, I can be like, oh, there are things that are problematic. So I enjoy things with that less, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Haley's voting that I do a ranking first before I go in depth to my Broadway musical videos. So that would be a lot faster to film. So I'll probably do that. Let's get the series started. Yeah, I would love to hear my controversy. It's coming. I promise.
Theater major. That's awesome.
Yeah, sorry, Brie.
Theater major. Yeah. So did you, like, what was your favorite part of that? Like, was it acting or stage production or like other things? Because I know there are lots of things that go into theater. Yeah, so let me know. Mercer hasn't seen Star Wars. Excuse me. That wasn't a gasp of surprise. That wasn't a burp. That wasn't a gasp. It was a burp. I realized how that looked.
They're fun. Watch them. I would say watch them with the thought that they are not meant to be cinematic masterpieces.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the thing is when I watched A New Hope, my mom is so funny because she was like, I got to the point where she was finally like, oh my God, you've never seen Star Wars. This was years ago. I want to clarify. But I was old enough where she was like, how have I never introduced you to Star Wars? I was like, I don't know. How haven't you? And we were looking for them on DVD and my mom kept searching for Star Wars. I was like, all I keep seeing is A New Hope. She's like, no, it's called Star Wars. And then I Googled it and it's like, it had been rebranded as A New Hope once the prequel trilogy had come out.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I was like, oh, and she's like, what? She's like, you don't like it? I was like, no, I don't know why. I was expecting the special effects to be better, but obviously it was a long time ago. So like,
you know, the funny thing though, is that if you watch it without all the stuff that George Lucas went back and added in, the special effects from the 70s were better than the ones he added in like,
I know.
2000s. It's like,
I know.
What?
I know. But like, I think it's just, I had built it up in my head and because my mom was like, oh, it was so amazing. And I was like, yeah, obviously the special effects then were amazing compared to like what they are now, but the story is still great because it's basically the hero's journey.
I have a friend that I recently introduced to Star Wars and I was kind of like, I think she entered in with the mindset like, whoa, this is going to be like, she had really high expectations because, you know, you hear about Star Wars and like, you have to watch Star Wars. And so I don't think I did a very good job like preparing her, like, okay, understand this was from the 70s, you know, all of that. And so she was watching it and she was like, honestly, it isn't even that good though. And I was like, but I was like, I mean, you think about it and the whole, like the big plot twist. No, I am your father. You know, everyone knows.
Everyone knows it now.
Everyone knows. It's such a classic.
Everyone knows it now. When that movie came out, that had never really been done before. That was a huge deal when it came out, and it's because of Star Wars that everyone uses it now.
Yeah, but and that same story has been retold so many times. It wasn't like a huge, like, whoa kind of thing.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, there's something to be said for that, I think. The fact that Star Wars has inspired so many things from...
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Star Wars even inspired itself because George Lucas did not have an overarching storyline for the original trilogy. They weren't expecting this movie to do well at all. And then it like blew the box office to shreds. And they're like, well, I guess we got to make more.
Yeah. We went over how Brie is appalled that you put The Last Jedi as
no, I'm sorry. That's the reaction I normally get. But I just the cinematography and just all the scenes with Rey, Kylo Ren, and Luke, all of that, I just love that too much to not.
No, I agree.
I agree with that too. I really liked all of those elements, and I was in the minority with my family. They're like, what?
Yeah, like I will 100% agree with you that the Canto Bite thing was useless. Finn and Rose did not need to go on their own little gallivanting across the galaxy kind of journey. That didn't need to happen. But for what it was, like the progression of the storyline, especially for our main protagonist and antagonist,
Yeah,
it was absolutely perfect.
That's why I like it.
Yeah.
The reason it's not my number 2 is the drawbacks that you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you do not cry at that final scene between Luke and Leia, you have no soul. I'm just kidding. You still have a soul. But it is just, it's one of those moments where it's
cold and dead inside you.
It's like, but it's just one of those moments where it's like, you can't watch it and not feel a little bit emotional because, well, Carrie Fisher passed away before.
No.
And so it's like, it's just like, there's so many great moments in that film that it just, they overshadow everything that's stupid about it. And so that's why I like it, is because it makes me forget that there are stupid moments in it because there's so many great moments. So all hail Carrie Fisher.
Yes. Carrie Fisher. Congrats to Mercer almost reaching the 3K mark for the story.
Yes.
The story's not over yet. Apparently, Keelan asked that. Mercer's going until the story ends, not by word count. Going back to when I said I have strong feelings about Broadway, and you say like, oh, they're like not as intense as Star Wars. Broadway on Tumblr, yeah, it was a time. I will be mentioning the Tumblr things Broadway taught me. Things musicals taught me.tumblr.com. It hasn't been updated in 6 years, I think, but they like have a lot of cool memes. So I will mention that in my videos. Not too much though, because they don't always do the musicals that I'm thinking of. Super Carlin Brothers, yes, love them. Haley Haggerty said earlier, SJM, but make it gay. And now you're saying, yeah, not problematic. So I was for it when you said it was gay. I'm also for it now that you say it's not problematic. So yes, Broadway tier ranking. Okay, that will clearly be the start of the series. Or maybe an intro video and then that. Playwriting. Okay, you did playwriting and marketing.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's awesome.
I'm reading ahead in the comments and I've opened a whole can of worms. I'm so sorry, you guys.
Okay, I'll go through them quickly. And we're definitely going to do, we'll start at the 45-minute for a 15-minute sprint, our final sprint, and then we can do a quick wrap up. If you have to leave before the very end, Helene, I understand. I'm sorry I didn't get through these faster. Okay, so I have a friend who does playwriting. So, Haley, if you want to DM me on Instagram, my username is Sarah Hoffman. I could maybe connect you if you want. First watched A New Hope, thought that was going to happen. Was disappointed when it didn't. Yeah. In love with Anakin in episodes 2 and 3.
Oh, who wasn't?
Yeah. Honestly.
Definitely great moments in TLJ. Still thought the core was, it tore the core. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
I'm still not happy with the toss at the end. Like, I'm still not happy.
I actually thought that was hysterical when he threw it. That was so funny.
No, I thought it was hysterical. I got why he did it, but I still didn't like it. It's like my reaction to that.
I don't know. I mean, yeah.
Okay. The director wanted to do his own thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but then J.J. Abrams didn't have to spend half of his movie trying to undo
it. Yeah.
Like J.J. Abrams is just as bad. I'm sorry.
Whole thing with the when I made. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that always annoys me. And that happens a lot in romance books, which is what I mostly read during the school year because it's like I can kind of half turn my brain off when I'm reading them. Yeah. I hate when like a plot point revolves around bad communication. My mom was watching a series with David Tennant and he plays like a psycho. And my mom was like, a lot of the plot would have been solved had the main character told her sister that he's a psycho. Don't date him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mercer's a dude. I'm sorry. I see your profile picture. I'm sorry. That's my bad. Bad. Shame on me. Yeah, talk to each other. Yes. Okay, I reached the end of the comments. Again, I'm sorry, Mercer. Okay, 15 minutes. We're going to do 15 minutes. We are doing the Starburst tree as picked by Helene.
Awesome.
And people are already in the room, which is great. I will quickly put the code back up. So many comments. There we go. Okay, I'm going to put that up, but I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1, plant. that was the final sprint. How did everyone do?
Well, I wrote my to-do list for the week. So excited. Sorry, Helene, go ahead.
Oh, you're good.
Good.
I was just talking about how I literally got sucked into the social media spiral, so I did some research and wrote down some character stuff, but yeah.
Awesome.
My puppy is here.
Oh,
She opened up my door to like my mom to save her, but Riley, say hi. I gave her a bath yesterday. She doesn't get screens.
Oh,
She is.
she's so calm.
Really cool. The only problem,
I love it.
oh, you guys are these fluffy animals. I have no animals with which to cuddle here.
Jimmy.
the only
Jimmy
time
doesn't cuddle.
Riley isn't
He'll kill
calm
you.
is like after a bath when she runs around like a maniac to like dry off.
Yeah. Oh.
Ooh, Mercer passed the 3K mark.
Woo! Yay!
Haley was happy for the
Congratulations.
tree. Yeah. So you wrote. So you did social media and character stuff. You wrote your to-do list. Anything else?
Let's see.
That's fine. I
Nope.
just didn't want. I wanted to go back to you if you had anything else to add. What about you?
I edited like a page, and Demeter is now storming off to see if she can annul the whole Hades Persephone arrangement. And Persephone's like, "Come on, Mom, please, just stop."
It's fine.
So she's run into Artemis though, so Artemis is going to be on her side.
Yay.
I love Artemis. I had to put her in
Artemis
here.
is great.
I love
Yeah,
Artemis.
I was like, I have to put Artemis in here. There's no way I'm writing a mythology retelling and not having Artemis show
I'm
up.
trying to think. I don't know if there are any problematic myths I know about Artemis. There's a really problematic one about Apollo.
Yeah, no, Artemis is actually pretty chill, I think. I haven't heard of
I mean, she turns men who like spy on her into animals, but you know, they deserve it. So okay, it's 11:03, so I don't know if you need to leave, Helene. So
I probably should.
okay, do you want to plug yourself one more time?
Oh, yes. So, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for having me here, and thanks for watching. I do have an Instagram, Helene Foy Writes, and then I also have YouTube. I'm an author tuber, and my channel is just Helene Foy. So, yeah. I suck at plugging myself, but
She's awesome. You should go follow her.
Yeah, she's really nice, as you can
We'll
tell.
promote you for you, Helene.
Yeah,
I feel so awkward like promoting myself. I'm like,
I know, right?
her channel is linked down below, as are Autumn's channel and Madeline's channel. So definitely go follow them at the end of this stream. We're wrapping up, so I don't know if you ladies want to say anything else about what you do.
Not about what I do, but just thanks for hosting, Zara. This was a lot of fun.
It was really fun. Thank you. And you were the first person, besides my other two people on the screen with us, that I have live streamed with. But you're actually the first one that reached out to have me guest on your channel.
Yeah.
So I was really happy.
Special.
Yeah. And like I just did one on Bree's channel, but we've been co-hosting for a while now. But I felt really special when you reached out and was like, "Ooh, you want to be on my channel?" And I was like, "Ooh, that makes sense."
Yeah. I had so much fun having all three of you on here. I am definitely going to invite you all back again. We chatted a lot. I love having hosts with me because that's kind of the point. And we got 3 sprints in. So
Yeah.
we did a lot of productivity.
For sure. And I'm usually very talkative, but I told myself, this isn't your live stream, Autumn. You need to tone it down. So that's why I was like,
invited you people for your personality. Tone yourself down.
I take control. So I was like, strap yourself to the chair and calm it down. So I tried not to be too because it's not mine.
Okay, Keelan is very enthusiastic.
Yes.
Thank you. Please do like the stream. I stream every Sunday at 9 a.m. Sometimes I do streams on other days, depending on when people I want to co-host are available. So yes, Mercer, you can definitely join a future stream. DM me on Instagram is probably the best way to schedule that. Yeah, I will be doing a writing stream. Actually, I just realized next Sunday I'm not doing a writing stream at 9 a.m. because I'm participating in the Worldwide Write-a-thon organized by Jessica Williamson. So I will be hosting a live stream at 8 p.m. on Saturday, and then I will be co-hosting on Caitlin Duncan's channel at 10:30 a.m. on Sunday. All of these times are in Eastern. Jessica Williamson has created a playlist for the Worldwide Write-a-thon. So if you're interested in that, you can just play the playlist without having to jump all over YouTube. Thank you again for coming onto my channel, and I hope everyone has a good